Hey everyone, it's Joy here for HoneyBee Stamps. Today I created a really cute square card that is in the form of a Tic Tac Toe board, and I used the Tailgate alphabet dies to create this. So I have used that Tailgate alphabet die. I have die cut the X and the O from a light pink and a dark pink cardstock, and then the heart from the Mugs and Kisses die from red cardstock. Then I have my piece of square cardstock, just a plain white Neenah cardstock, and that measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm going to take my little ruler, and from one end I'm going to measure 1 3/4 inches, and I'm just going to make a little mark. And then from the other end, I'm going to flip my ruler around and measure again 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to do this one more time on the side next to it, so I'm just going to turn it one turn. I'm going to do the same thing. So again, from the left corner, I'm going to measure 1 3/4 inches. Then from the right corner, I'm going to measure 1 3/4 inches, and that really should give us a pretty even amount. I actually had to pull out the ruler, which is not something I usually do. So I have already cut some strips of black cardstock that are 1/4 inch wide. And I want to lay down my there's 2 that go horizontal and 2 that go vertical. I did decide that I needed to bring my ruler in here in just a second and make one straight line, just so I can make sure I'm starting off with a level black line. So I'm going to use that ruler one more time and my pencil and just draw one line really lightly that the black strip of paper, I did 2 lines, that the black strip of paper will cover. But this is going to make sure that I'm just lining everything up nice and neat. So I have liquid glue on the back. I'm going to put that down, make sure it's nice and even, and I do have a little bit of excess hanging over, and I will trim that here in just a little bit. I'm going to do the second one. Now for the other 2, you could just lay it across. So this piece here would go across the other 2 pieces. I opted to not do that. I'm going to just butt it up and put a piece on the outside edges and in the center. So that's what I decided, but I think it would still be fine. And again, if you just laid this across. I'm going to do both of these pieces. Then I can trim the excess off, use that for the other side, and then we can do the center pieces. So let me just trim that off with my scissors, and let's flip it around and do the other side. And you can see how cute this is and how it's coming together. Oh, I'm mistaken. I did the center first. I apologize. I'm going to trim that right next to the other straight piece. And just because I have some liquid glue behind it, it's just going to pop right in place and adhere down. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. And I do think personally it looks a little bit better. You don't have kind of that bump where the cardstock is going over the other cardstock. I don't think it would look bad, but I do like that all of it's just nice and flat. Let's finish the last 2 pieces, making sure that's nice and level. And then again, trimming off the excess once I'm done. And look at how cute this is. I love how this turned out. This is going to be on a square card base, of course, but it turned out so cute. Now, I already laid out my XOs and my hearts exactly how I want them. I want my hearts a little bit wonky, and I want the XOs just how you would normally read that, so kind of straight across. Nice and even. So I'm just adding a little bit of liquid glue using my reverse tweezers, and just putting those in place and centering them, just eyeballing it, but centering in each one of those boxes. So I'm going to finish getting those done. And then I decided to use the big Smooch die, and it is so cute with this. I also decided to bring in kind of like a cardstock that looks like wood. It's like super thin, but a craft cardstock would be really pretty too. I just thought bringing in the wood would add another kind of textural looking element. And also you can see a lot of these cute tic-tac-toe boards that are wooden and they're so cute, like on your coffee table. And so that is another reason why I decided to bring in the wood look. I'm going to adhere the white piece to a black piece that is just like 1/8 of an inch larger. And then I'm going to adhere that to the wood grain cardstock that is just 1/8 of an inch larger. So the white one is 5 1/4, the wood one is 5 1/2, the black one is right in between. So it's going to give a nice little finished edge, the black one. And then that wood texture cardstock is going to just finish it off nicely. Look at how cute. Okay, so here is that Smooch die I was talking about. I die cut the shadow part 3 times from black cardstock. And then I die cut the scriptier one from that wood textured cardstock. I want to keep it in that wood theme. And I'm also going to bring in those super cute tree hugger wooden hearts from HoneyBee Stamps. Those are just some of my favorite. And so I'm going to bring those in too. Now that that is nice and adhered and it's nice and dimensional, I actually decided to add even more dimension to this. Even though that is dimensional, I didn't like how it looked just adhered to the background. So I'm going to use some foam tape behind it. Now, if this is too much dimension for you, you definitely don't have to do this. But I love that it's popped up on the foam tape along with it being super dimensional. So this might be something I do on some of my other cards. We'll just have to see. I'm going to peel back the release paper, and I want to put this on a diagonal across the center, almost like the line that goes across to let you know when you win, when you're actually playing on paper. But look at how that just pops out. Okay, we need one more sentiment, and it says love you, and that's from the Bitty Buzzwords Be Mine. I'm going to white heat emboss on black cardstock, so I need to prep that with a powder tool and then sprinkle on the white embossing powder. And I already have my heat tool nice and heated, so that way it can just melt it pretty quick and there is very minimal warping to your cardstock. I did take a dry cloth and just buffed that off once the embossing powder was cool, and then I trimmed it with my paper trimmer, and I'm going to attach that with some foam tape right under that Smooch. Isn't that cute? Okay, and here are those super cute wooden, hug me wooden hearts that I'm going to put over the top of this. This turned out better than what was in my mind. I love it. Then I want to add some white gel pen on these hearts just to give them a little something extra, to add a little something, and that I felt like they just kind of pop a little bit more now with that white highlight. So let's take a look at this up close. Look at how darling this is. I love it. And the card base would be the 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.